देवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So, Hare Krishna, we are in the fifth chapter of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this particular chapter is about the talks of Vidura and Maitreya. And by Krishna's mercy, we have completed 12 shlokas. And in these 12 shlokas, Vidura is requesting Maitreya to tell us about different things. So he's requesting him to talk about the glories of Lord Krishna, his incarnations, and his pastimes, and all those things. And he's also telling that he's also giving a background about his friend Vyasadev, Maitreya's friend, and he's also telling that how much ever we discuss about Lord Krishna, so each and every discussion, we have new realizations. So he is requesting different things, and this is what we have been seeing. And now we will continue from the 13th shloka of the fifth chapter of the third canto. So this is the first shloka for today. Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, fifth chapter, shloka number 13. I just wanted to confirm if the screen is seen properly and if my voice is coming clearly.
Perfect, Prabhu. Everything is
Yes,
perfect.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Sasraddhadanasya vivardhamana Sasraddhadanasya vivardhamana Viraktimanyatra karoti pumsaha Viraktimanyatra karoti pumsaha Hare padanusmriti nivritasya Hare padanusmriti nivritasya Samasta dukkhaप्ययम् आसुदत्ते Samasta आसुदत्ते. So the meaning of the shloka is that for one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. So, Viduraji is asking a lot of questions. He's requesting Maitreya to talk about different things, and he is giving a context, a background as to why he is requesting all these things. And these are the shlokas. And here in this shloka, Vidura is telling that when we are eager to hear Krishna Katha, what happens is gradually we get detached towards material things. And when we do that, our spiritual bliss increases. And when our spiritual bliss increases, our miseries go away. So this is what is the meaning of this shloka. There is a very nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. So can I request Rao Prabhu to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Sure, Prabhuji. We must certainly know that on the absolute plane, Krishna Kada and Krishna are one and the same. The Lord is the absolute truth, and therefore his name, form, quality, etc., which are all understood to be Krishna Kada, are not different from him. Bhagavad Gita, being spoken by the Lord, is as good as the Lord himself. When a sincere devotee reads Bhagavad Gita, this is as good as seeing the Lord face to face in his personal presence. But this is not so for the mundane wrangler. All the potencies of the Lord are there when one reads Bhagavad Gita, provided it is read in the way recommended in the Gita by the Lord himself. One cannot foolishly manufacture an interpretation of Bhagavad Gita and still bring about transcendental benefit. Anyone who tries to squeeze some artificial meaning or interpretation from Bhagavad Gita for an ulterior motive is not Sriddhadhana Pumsa, one engaged anxiously in bona fide hearing of Krishna Kada. Such a person cannot derive any benefit from reading Bhagavad Gita. However a great scholar, he may be in the estimation of layman. The Sriddhadhana or faithful devotee can actually derive all the benefits of Bhagavad Gita because by the omnipotency of the Lord, he achieves the transcendental bliss which vanquishes attachment and nullifies all concomitant material miseries. Only the devotee, by his factual experience, can understand the import of this verse spoken by Vidura. The pure devotee of the Lord enjoys life by constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing Krishna Kada. For such a devotee, there is no such thing as material existence, and the much advertised bliss of Brahmananda is like a fig for the devotee who is in the midst of transcendental ocean of bliss.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Jai Shri.
Prabhu. So the essence of this particular shloka is that when we listen to Krishna Katha, it should be listened with faith. That is very, very important. So in our devotional service, faith is the foundation. So without which a building can never stand. So we have seen this several times. I think I have talked about this shloka of Bhagavad Gita, ninth chapter, shloka number 3, where Lord Krishna says, Ashraddha danaha purusha dharmasyasya parantapa apraptyava nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Ashraddha danaha purusha. So if someone does not have faith, dharmasyasya parantapa, how much ever devotional service he does, apraptyavan. So that person will not attain me. Nivartante means coming in circles again and again. In what? Mrityu samsara vartmani. So Lord Krishna says, if you do devotional service, if you hear Krishna Katha without Shraddha, you will never attain me. You will come back in the cycle of birth and death again and again. So that is the importance of faith, Shraddha. So that is why Srila Prabhupada is explaining when he is talking about this particular shloka that when we listen to Krishna Katha, we should listen it with Shraddha and we should take the message as to what is there, what is communicated by Lord Krishna and try not to fabricate something based on our own understanding. And if we do that, we will never get the benefit of reading Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. And talking about the attachment, so he says the Shraddha Dana or faithful devotee can derive all the benefits of Bhagavad Gita because by the potency, by the omnipotency of the Lord, he achieves the transcendental bliss, which vanquishes attachment and nullifies all material desires. So, this getting ourselves detached and getting the material desires removed, it may appear to be a simple statement, but in reality, it is very, very difficult. And it is possible only through the purificatory process of the mind and heart, which can happen when we are doing devotional service with love and affection. And that is the reason why he says that when we hear the Bhagavad Gita, when we hear the Srimad Bhagavatam with Shraddha, what happens is that we get that bliss. And compared to that bliss, even the liberation, even the heavenly kingdoms are nothing. That is what is Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the last line also. So, in simple terms, when we listen to Krishna Katha, and especially in the association of devotees, like what we are doing now, our attachment to the material world gradually reduces, and because of the attachment getting reduced, our miseries, our anxiety also get reduced. So, most of our anxieties, almost all of our anxieties, the problems, whatever we are facing today, is because of our attachment. Definitely, problems are there, but the anxiety, the stress level is because of the attachment. So, that will come down when we do devotional service and when we hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, the Krishna Katha with faith. Let us move on to the next shloka, shloka number 14. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 14. Tanchochya sochan avidonusoche, Tanchochya sochan avidonusoche, Hare katayam vimukan agena, Hare katayam vimukan agena, Shinoti devo nimishastu yesam, Shinoti devo nimishastu yesham, Ayurvrita vadagati smritinam, Ayurvrita vadagati smritinam, Tanchochya sochan avidonusoche, Hare katayam vimukan agena, Shinoti devo nimishastu yesham, Ayurvritavada gati smritinam. So, translation. O sage, the meaning of the shloka is that, O sage, persons who, because of their sinful activities, are averse to the topics of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and sorry, different modes of ritual. So, in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about knowledge in the mode of goodness, knowledge in the mode of passion, and knowledge in the mode of ignorance. So, Lord Krishna says, if someone sees the soul in all the living entities, whether it is a human being, whether it is an animal, whether it is a bird, that knowledge is considered to be in the mode of goodness. If somebody uses their knowledge to, to do speculation, to do manufacture theories, to develop, to write books out of their own understanding, and they are able to, they are seeing, they are able to differentiate, they are differentiating living beings based on the bodies. So that is considered under the mode of passion. Then, coming under the mode of ignorance, he says that people who think only about themselves, only about their bodies, they come under the mode of ignorance. So, coming to the mode of passion, people who are intelligent also, they use their intelligence in preparing theories, in trying to achieve something which is uh, which is not going to be permanent, and which will only serve this particular life. So what is happening? The time, their duration is spoiled by their engagement in all these things. So he says that those people are kind of pitiable because they don't know about Lord Krishna, they don't know about the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, they don't know the difference between the body and the soul, and they are wasting their time in material activities. Such persons are basically pitiable. We should take pity on them. I pity on them. And even the pitiable are, um, it's a shame that their time is going waste. So again, as we saw before, Maitreya is explaining the context as to why he is requesting, Vidura is explaining the context as to why he is requesting Maitreya to talk about Lord Krishna and the transcendental topics. Can I request Sushil Prabhu to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. According to the modes of material nature, there are three kinds of relationships between human beings and the Supreme Personality of the God. Those who are in the modes of ignorance and passion are averse to the existence of God, and else that formally accept the existence of God in the capacity of an order supplier. Above them are those who are in the mode of goodness. This second class of men believe the Supreme Brahman to be impersonal. They accept the cult of bhakti in which hearing of Krishna Katha in which hearing of Krishna Katha is the first item as a means and not the end. Above them are those who are pure devotees. They are situated in the transcendental stage above the mode of material goodness. Such persons are decidedly convinced from the name, form, fame, qualities, etc. of the personality of the Godhead are such persons are decidedly convinced that the name, form, fame, quality, etc. of the personality of the Godhead are non-different from one another on the absolute plane. For them, hearing of the topics of Krishna is equal to the meeting with him face to face. According to this class of men who are situated in pure devotional service to the Lord, the highest goal of human life is Purusharth, devotional service to the Lord, the real mission of life. The impersonalists, because they engage in mental speculation and have no faith in the personality of the Godhead, have no business hearing the topics of Krishna. Such persons are pitiable for the first class pure devotees of the Lord. The pitiable impersonalists pity those who are influenced by the modes of ignorance and passion. But the pure devotees of the Lord take pity on them, both because both waste their most valuable time in the human form of the life, in false pursuits, namely sense enjoyment and mental speculative presentation of different theories and goals of life. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So again, Srila Prabhupada is taking out that instruction and then putting it in the first few lines. So those in the modes of passion and ignorance, they are averse to the existence of God, and They formally or else they formally accept the existence in the capacity of an order supplier. So what this means is that when we go in front of the Lord, if we ask different things, so give me wealth, give me a good future and all those things, basically we are considering him like an order supplier. So when we go to a restaurant, a waiter comes and then we place our orders before him. We tell him that what we want and then he takes our orders and then we gives. So when we go before the Lord and then say that we want A, B, C, what we are generally doing is that we are making the Lord as an order supplier. So that kind of people, they are considered to be in the modes of ignorance and passion. So when we come to the mode of goodness, we do things because it pleases Lord Krishna and not because of any kinds of benefit. And when we understand that, so we realize that the name, form, fame, qualities of Lord Krishna are non-different from one another. So, for example, the holy name of Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, the name and Lord Krishna are non-different from each other. So when we chant the holy names of the Lord, it is said that Lord Krishna is actually dancing inside our mouth. So that is the potency of the holy name of the Lord. Then the form. So the form of the Lord. We have the Archa Vigrahas, we have the photos. So, with whatever form of the Lord is there, all the forms are the same as Lord Krishna. So it is not that, for example, in our home, we have an altar and we have a wooden form of Lord Krishna. Let us say in somebody's home, they are not in a position to have the wooden form, they have a photograph. When we go to a temple, we see murtis which are made of Panchaloha. So we should be clear that all these forms have the same or non-different from the Lord. It is not that one is superior or another is inferior. Then the qualities. So when we hear the qualities of the Lord, our mind and heart get purified so that we try to get at least some percentage of those qualities. So, the name, fame, form, and qualities of the Lord are non-different from one another. For example, if let us say that I am Bandhu Baladev Das, my name Bandhu Baladev Das is different from my person. If if my name is written on a piece of paper, I cannot appear there. But the name of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna are non-different. So this is the difference. So when we take the holy name of Lord Krishna, it is as potent as Lord Krishna himself. But when we don't realize this, it is something which is pitiable. So those kind of persons, the devotees, what they do is that they take mercy upon them and try to bring them into devotional service. Moving on to the next shloka, shloka number 15. Tadasya kausa ravasarma dhatur, Tadasya kausha ravasarma dhatur, Hare katameva katashu saram, Hare katamev katashu saram Udritya pushpebhya ivarta bandho Udritya pushpebhya ivarta bandho Sivayana kirtaya tirtha kirte Sivayana kirtaya tirtha kirte तदस्य कौशारवशर्म धातुर् हरे कथामेव कथाशु सारम् उद्धृत्य पुष्पेभ्य इवार्तबन्धो शिवाय नः कीर्तयतीर्थकीर्ते. So, the meaning of the shloka is that, O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. So, if we take the last line first, kindly describe the essence of all topics. What is the essence of all topics? The topics of the Lord. So he's uh, giving an adjective in the meaning itself that the topics of the Lord are basically the essence of all topics. And what is the example which is being given? Like how bees collect the honey from the flowers. So they go from flower to flower and then collect honey. So he's telling just give me the honey, which is the essence of all the topics. And why he wants that? The glories of the Supreme Lord alone can do good for all the people. So only the glories of the Supreme Lord will do something which is beneficial for everyone. And because of that, just tell me about the topics of the Lord, which are basically the essence of all topics. So, can I request Nehal Mataji to read the purport? Hare Krishna. Nehal Mataji, are you there? Okay. Hare Krishna. Sumati Mataji, are you in a position to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ji, Jai Srila Prabhupada. There are many topics for different persons in different modes of material nature, but the essential topics are those in relationship with the Supreme Lord. Unfortunately, materially affected conditioned souls are all more or less averse to topics of the Supreme Lord because some of them do not believe in the existence of God and some of them believe only in the impersonal feature of the Lord. In both cases, there is nothing for them to say of God. Both the non believers and the impersonalists deny the essence of all topics. Therefore, they engage in topics of relativity in various ways, either in sense gratification or in mental speculation. For the pure devotees like Vidura, the topics of both the mundaners and the mental speculators are useless in all respects. Thus, Vidura requested Maitreya to talk of the essence only, the talks of Krishna and nothing else. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, we all have so much of discussions and things to talk about on the daily basis. But in most of those discussions and in most of those talks, uh, 99% of them, it is not about the Lord. It is about different things which are connected to the material world. And today, all those, even if we take the uh, social media and WhatsApp and all those things, there is a lot of mental speculation, and most of the posts or the information is speculative in nature, and there is no guarantee that the information which is posted is correct. So, what is essentially happening is that we are basically wasting our time in things which are not beneficial. So, Vidura is requesting Maitreya to just talk about Lord Krishna, which is the essence, and nothing else. Let us move on to the next shloka, shloka number 16. Bhagavad Gita, third chapter, third canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, Shloka number 16. Savishwajanma sthiti samyamarte, Savishwajanma sthiti samyamarte, Kritavatara pragrihita shakti, Kritavatara pragrihita shakti, Chakara karmani ati purushani, Chakara karmani ati purushani, Yani Ishwara tani mahyam, Yani Ishwara tani mahyam, Savishwajanma sthiti samyamarte, Kritavatara pragrihita shakti, Chakara karmani ati purushani, Yani Ishwara tani mahyam. So, the meaning of the shloka is that kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation. So, Vidura is requesting that please talk about the pastimes of Lord Krishna, who accepted different incarnations, and all these different incarnations are fully equipped with all potency. So it does not mean that the different avatars, one is superior and one is not so superior. So it is very clear. We need to be very, our understanding has to be very clear that all the incarnations are fully equipped with all kinds of potencies for the manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation, which means that all the avatars have the same amount of potency, have the same amount of Shakti. Can I request Smita Karnik Mataji to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I am on phone. It is very difficult to read for me.
No worries, Mataji. What about Uday Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Uday Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am there, but I am actually on height.
Okay. Amrit Madhav Prabhu, can you read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Vidur was undoubtedly very eager to hear about Lord Krishna in particular, but he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna had just passed away from the visible world. He therefore wanted to hear about him in his Purusha incarnations, which he manifests with full potencies for the creation and maintenance of the cosmic world. The activities of Purusha incarnations are but an extension of the activities of the Lord. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya because Maitreya could not decide which part of the activities of Lord Krishna should be chanted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So since Vidura was requesting Maitreya to talk about the pastimes of the Lord, so we all know that the pastimes of Lord Krishna are unlimited. So Maitreya was kind of contemplating as to what kind of pastimes he should start with. So for clarifying that, Vidura is telling that please talk about those incarnations. Each and every incarnations, each and every incarnation has all the potency. So he is just, and also Srila Prabhupada is very nicely giving a different perspective also, that since Lord Krishna had departed from the material world at just before all this conversation was happening, So Vidura was kind of overwhelmed, and he wanted to kind of neutralize that feeling by talking about his different manifestations, his different incarnations. Let us move on to the next shloka, shloka number 17. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 17. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Sri Sukha Uvacha, स एवं भगवान् पृष्ट स एवं भगवान् पृष्ट क्षत्राकौशारवो मुनिः क्षत्राकौशारवो मुनिः पुंसां निःश्रेयसार्थेन पुंसां निःश्रेयसार्थेन तमाह बहुमानयन् तमाह बहुमानयन् श्रीसुक उवाच स एवं भगवान् पृष्ट क्षत्रकौशारवो मुनिः पुंसां निःश्रेयसार्थेन तमाह बहुमानयन्. So, the meaning of the shloka is that Sukadeva Goswami said, the great sage Maitreya Muni, after honoring Vidura very greatly, began to speak at Vidura's request for the greatest welfare of all people. So, till now, Vidura is requesting Maitreya to talk about different things. So, now in this shloka, it is told that now Maitreya Muni is going to start speaking. So can I request RB to read the purport? Hare Krishna. RB, are you there? Hare Krishna. Okay. Amit Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya Muni is described here as Bhagavan because he surpassed all ordinary human beings in learning and experience. Thus, his selection of the greatest welfare service for the world is considered authoritative. The all inclusive welfare service for the entire human society is devotional service to the Lord. And as requested by Vidura, the sage described the same very appropriately. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So now, Maitreya Muni, the reason Srila Prabhupada is telling this is that we should also not get convinced, because in this particular shloka, since he has described, so we should not consider him as the Lord. So that is the reason Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Maitreya Muni is described here as Bhagavan because of his learning and of his experience. So it is just an adjective so that we understand the depth of the learning and experience of Maitreya Muni and his selection for talking about Lord Krishna. Let us move on to the next shloka, and this is the shloka from which Maitreya Muni is going to start. Maitreya Uvacha Maitreya Uvacha Sadhu Prishtam Tvaya Sadhu Prishtam Tvaya Sadhu Lokan Sadhu Anugrahnata Lokan Swasad Vanugrahnata Kirtim Vitanvata Loke Kirtim Vitanvata Loke Atmano Adokshajatmanah Atmano Adokshajatmanah Maitreya Uvacha Sadhu Prashtam Tvaya Sadhu Lokan Swasadvanugrahnata Kirtim vitanvata loke atmano adokshajatmanah. So, the meaning of the shloka is that Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glory unto you. You have inquired from me one of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. So, when someone asks something about the Lord, that person is showing it is not just because they want to understand something, it is also an opportunity for us to contemplate, think, and then talk about the Lord. And that is the reason why Maitreya is telling that you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me. Why? Because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. Means the mind of Vidura is always absorbed in the thoughts of Lord Krishna. And because he was absorbed in the thoughts of Lord Krishna, his question is also about Lord Krishna. And since he is requesting to talk about Lord Krishna, it is a kind of mercy to Maitreya also. So let us go through the purport. There's a small purport. Can I request Manjunath Prabhu to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just give
Yes,
me
Prabhu.
1 second, Prabhuji. Maitreya Muni, who was experienced in the science of transcendence, could understand that Vidura's mind was fully absorbed in the transcendence. Adokashaja means that which transcends the limits of sense perception, a sensuous experience. The Lord is transcendental to our sense experience, but He reveals Himself to the sincere devotee. Because Vidura always absorbed in thought of the Lord, Maitreya could estimate Vidura's transcendental value. He appreciated the valuable inquiries of Vidura and thus thanked him with the great honor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is the benefit of being in the association of devotees. So there is a very nice shloka which comes in the Chatur Shlok of Srimad Bhagavatam. And 1 minute. This is coming in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it is coming in one of the Chatur Shlokas where uh, Lord Krishna says that the devotees talk between each other about transcendental topics and Dushyanti cha Ramanti cha. So they get pleasure out of them. So, what is the shloka? Dushyanti cha Ramanti cha. So it's a very nice shloka. So it says that when the devotees meet, they don't
Prabhu,
talk about.
excuse me, it is mat chitta mat gat prana.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Hare
Bodhiyanta
Krishna.
parasparam.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Matchitta matgatah prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantascha mam nityam dushyanti cha ramanti cha. Mat chitta mat gata prana. Mat chitta means their consciousness is always in me. Mat gata. So I am that destination. Prana. Their lives are dedicated to me. So the devotees, what are their characteristics? Lord Krishna says, Their consciousness is fully absorbed in Lord Krishna, and for the devotees, Lord Krishna is their supreme destination, and their lives are dedicated to Lord Krishna. So, what they do? Bodhayanta parasparam. Parasparam, to one another. Bodhayanta, talk. What do they talk about? Katayantascha mam nityam. Katayantascha. Kata means topics, discussions. Discussions about what? Discussions about politics, discussions about movies, discussions about world problems. No. Katayantascha mam, me. They talk about me. Okay. When do they talk about? Do they talk about once in a week? Once in a month? No. Nityam. He says Katayantascha mam nityam. So then what benefit do they get out of that? Dushyanti cha ramanti cha. So they get unlimited bliss and detachment. Dushyanti cha ramanti cha. So that is what we need to understand. When devotees meet, the talk about Lord Krishna gives so much of pleasure so that they get unlimited bliss. And that is the reason why Maitreya is thanking Vidura that because of your inquiry, it is giving Maitreya Muni even more impetus, even more or the intention to talk more and more about the topics of the Lord. Moving on to the next shloka, shloka number 19. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 19. Naitachitram tvaikshatar, Naitachitram tvaikshatar, Bhadarayana viryaje, Bhadarayana viryaje, Grihito ananya bhavena, Grihito ananya bhavena, Yatvaya haririshvaraha, Yatvaya haririshvaraha, Naitachitram tvaikshatar, Bhadarayana viryaje, Grihito ananya bhavena, Yatvaya haririshvaraha. The meaning of the shloka is that, O Vidura, it is not at all wonderful that you have so accepted the Lord without deviation of thought, for you were born from the semen of Vyasadeva. So he is talking about the familial lineage. Since you are talking about you are born from the semen of Vyasadeva, there is no it is not at all a surprise that you are fully committed to devotional service. So parental birth is not the only basis, is not the only thing which is important in devotional service, but still it plays a reasonably good role because our formative years ensure that we get the right kind of upbringing, the right kind of maturity to deal with whatever the world throws about in the future. So again, there's a very nice purport. Nehal Mataji, are you in a position to read Hare Krishna? Okay. Can I
You can
request
try,
Rao,
Prabhu.
Rao Prabhu to read the purport Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, purport. The value of great parentage and noble birth is evaluated here in connection with the birth of Vidura. The culture of a human being begins when the father invests his semen in the womb of the mother. According to his status of work, a living entity is placed in a particular father's semen, and because Vidura was not an ordinary living entity, he was given the chance to be born from the semen of Vyasa. The birth of a human being is a great science, and therefore, reformation of the act of impregnation, according to the Vedic ritual called Garbhadana Samskara, is very important for generating good population. The problem is not to check the growth of the population, but to generate good population on the level of Vidura, Vyasa, and Maitreya. There is no need to check the growth of population if the children are born as human beings with all precautions regarding their birth. So-called birth control is not only vicious but also useless. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So, the value of a good being born in a good family uh, can never be underestimated. So, yes, after being born in a good family, or irrespective of wherever we are born, it is important to take to Krishna consciousness. It is important to accept a spiritual master. It is important to do devotional service, be in the association of devotees so that we progress. But a good family gives us an advantage. And that is what is being talked about here. And Srila Prabhupada is also talking about the Garbhadana Samskara. So in the olden days, before begetting a child, the couple, there used to be a Garbhadana Samskara, and then the couple used to chant the holy names. The Garbhadana Samskara is a it's a kind of puja where you do yajna, you do prayer to the Lord, you call the Brahmanas, you feed them, and then you chant the holy names of the Lord. Uh, you chant lot of rounds and then unite so that the child which is born is a devotee of the Lord. Lord Krishna blesses us so that the child which is born is a devotee of the Lord. So there's a very nice shloka which comes in the 31st chapter of this particular canto, third canto, where uh, Kardama Muni will be explaining to Devahuti as to how a living entity's birth takes place. So it is said in that particular shloka, ki karmana deva netrena jantur deha upapattaye striya pravishta udaram pumsam reta kanashreyah. Karmana deva netrena. Karmana, because of the reactions of the living entities. What are the living entities? The father, the mother, and the child which is going to be born. So, because based on the reactions of these three living entities, karmana, deva netrena, under the supervision of the Lord, deva netrena, jantur deha upapattaye, deha, the body, jantur of a living entity, upapattaye is being created. How it is being created? Striya pravishta udaram. So a semen of a male enters into a womb of a female. So based on the Striya pravishta udaram, pravishta, entering, by that it is getting created. Pumsam reta kanashreya. So we should pray that Pumsam, that Lord, should take shelter of Lord Krishna. So it is very important to ensure that we beget children in the institution of marriage, and we also beget children by following the Garbhadana Samskara. And if that has already been done, at least we should ensure that we give a right atmosphere in our home so that our children develop into Krishna conscious devotees so that uh, they be good citizens, they become good citizens. So we all want our children to become good citizens, but we do different things, art of living, this, that. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 18th chapter, shloka number 12, it is said that when a person becomes a devotee, all the qualities of the demigod are already manifest in him. So which means when we are in Krishna consciousness, when we put our children also in Krishna consciousness, in devotional service, there is no need to talk to train him in discipline. There is no need to train them in time management, no need to train them in anger management. All the good qualities automatically come. And that is the reason why it is very important to try to do whatever we can to bring our children, our family into devotional service. Moving on to the next shloka, shloka number 20. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 20. Mandavyasapat Bhagavan, Mandavyasapat Bhagavan, Praja Samya Manoyamaha, Praja Samya Manoyamaha, Bhratu Kshetre Bhujishyayam, Bhratu Kshetre Bhujishyayam, Jata Satyavati Sutat, Jata Satyavati Sutat, Mandavya Sapat Bhagavan, Praja Samyamano Yamaha, Bhratu Kshetre Bhujishyayam. Sorry. Bhratu Kshetre Bhujishyayam, Jata Satyavati Sutat. The meaning of the shloka is that I know that you are now Vidura due to the cursing of Mandavya Muni, and that formerly you were King Yamaraja, the great controller of living entities after their death. You were begotten by the son of Satyavati, Vyasadeva, in the kept wife of his brother. So he is talking about the familial lineage of Vidura. So, RB Prabhu, are you there now? Are you in a position to read Hare Krishna? Okay. Sushil Prabhu, can you read the purport Hare Krishna?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Mandavya Muni was a great sage. See Bhagavatam 1.13.1. And Vidur was formerly the controller Yamaraj, who takes charge of the living entities after death. Birth, maintenance, and death are the three conditional states of the living entities who are within the material world. As the appointed controller after death, Yamaraj once tried Mandavya Muni for his childhood profligacy and ordered him to be pierced with a lance. Mandavya, being angry at Yamraj for awarding him undue punishment, cursed him to become a Shudra, member of the less intelligent labor class. Thus, Yamraj took birth in the womb of the kept wife of Vichitravirya from the semen of Vichitravirya's brother Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the son of Satyavati by the great sage Parashar, and Vichitravirya is the son of the same Satyavati by the great king Shantanu, the father of Bhishma Dev. This mysterious history of Vidur was known to Maitra Muni because he happened to be contemporary friend of Vasudeva. In spite of Vidur's birth from the womb of a kept wife, because he had otherwise high parentage and great connection, he inherited the highest talent of becoming a great devotee of the Lord. To take birth in such a great family is understood to be an advantage for attaining devotional life. Vidur was given this chance due to his previous greatness.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
So, in the first, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord very clearly says that even if when we are doing devotional service, if you are not able to do it properly and if we leave this body, the Lord ensures that we are born in a family which is devotionally oriented so that we start from where we stopped. In the material world, let us say that we have X amount of money in our bank. If we die, we don't inherit the amount in our next life. We have to start from zero. But spiritual learning is not like that. We start from wherever we stop. So that is the reason why Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Neha Bikrama Nasosti Pratyavayo na vidyate. Neha Bikrama Nasosti. So there is no diminution in this devotional service. We should not think that, okay, if I do devotional service and if in the middle, due to some reason, I am not able to take initiation or something, or if I am not able to follow properly and die, whatever I do will go waste. So let me enjoy. This is one school of thought by some people. So for that, Lord Krishna is telling that there's no diminution in devotional service. So we start from wherever we stop. And the example of Vidura is being explained as to how he started from where he stopped by being given a chance by Lord Krishna, even in a slightly different way. Let us move on to the next shloka, shloka number 21. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam. Sammata Sanugasyaha. Sammata Sanugasyaha. Yashya Jnanopadeshaya. Yashya Jnanopadeshaya. Madishad Bhagavan Vrajan. Madishat Bhagavan Vrajan. Bhavan Bhagavato Nityam Sammata Sanugasyaha Yashya Jnanopadeshaya Madishad Bhagavan Vrajan. The meaning of the shloka is that your good self is one of the eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for whose sake the Lord, while going back to his abode, left instructions with me. So, Lord Krishna, he left this world from Prabhasa Kshetra. And when he left the world from Prabhasa Kshetra, he gave instructions to two devotees. One is Uddhavji and second is Maitreya Muni. So he was actually talking to Uddhavji, but Maitreya Muni also came there. And though he was addressing Uddhava, Maitreya was listening to all those instructions. And now Maitreya Muni is telling, your good self means Vidura. He's talking about Vidura. Vidura is one of the eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Means, since Vidura is one of the topmost devotees, Lord Krishna is always considering Vidurji as one of his associates. And because Lord Krishna is considering Vidurji as one of his associates, he has left behind instructions with Maitreya Muni for conveying to Vidura. That is what is the meaning of this shloka. Can I request Smita Mataji to read the purport? Hare Krishna. Smita Mataji, are you there? Hare Krishna. Uday Prabhu, can you read the purport? Hare Krishna. Uday Prabhu, are you there? Okay, Sumati Mataji, are you in a position to read now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yamaraj, the great controller of life after death, decides the living entities' destinies in their next lives. He is surely among the most confidential representatives of the Lord. Such confidential posts are offered to great devotees of the Lord who are as good as eternal associates in the spiritual sky. And because Vidura happened to be among them, the Lord, while returning to Vaikuntha, left instructions for Vidura with Maitreya Muni. Generally, the eternal associates of the Lord in the spiritual sky do not come to the material world. Sometimes they come, however, by the order of the Lord, not to hold any administrative post, but to associate with the Lord in person or to propagate the message of God in human society. Such empowered representatives are called Satyavesha avatars, or incarnations invested with transcendental power of attorney. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, transcendental power of attorney. It's a very nice word used by Srila Prabhupada. So, he's talking about Yamaraja and he's also talking about Vidura and Maitreya Muni. And since Vidura and Maitreya Muni, they are also devotees of the Lord, he is using Maitreya Muni as a media for passing on instructions because the Lord cares for his devotees. And he is also coming from the lineage of Yamaraja, and he is telling that Yamaraja is controlling the living entities' destinies in their next lives. So, such confidential positions are offered to great devotees of the Lord. So, this is also something which we need to understand that whenever we get any responsibility in devotional service, so when we are doing devotional service, we get some positions. Let us say Balutsav teacher. When we are teaching, when we are taking Bhagavad Gita classes for children's class, we are called as Balutsav teacher. Let us say that we are doing a Bhakti Vriksha like this, like what we are doing now. So we may be called as a Bhakti Vriksha coordinator, or there is some kind of a congregation which we are heading. So we may be called as a Namahata leader or Yatra leader. So these positions are, or we are getting these positions because of the mercy of Lord Krishna. We need to understand this. We should not think that I have become a Balutsav teacher or I have become a Bhagavad Gita teacher because I learnt and mastered the Bhagavad Gita or I learnt and understand the Bhagavatam or things like that. So we have got this position in devotional service because of Lord Krishna's mercy, because he is wanting to use us as instruments for passing on the instructions, for passing on the mercy to other people. So this is something which we need to understand. Let us move on to the next shloka. Shloka number 22, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 22. Atate Bhagavad Atate Bhagavat Leela Yogamayo Yogamayo Brimitaha Vishwastiti उद्भवान्तार्ता विश्वस्थिति उद्भवान्तार्ता वर्णयामि अनुपूर्वसः वर्णयामि अनुपूर्वसः अथ ते भगवद्लीला योगमायोरुबृंहिताः विश्वस्थिति उद्भवान्तार्ता वर्णयामि anupurvasaha. The meaning of the shloka is that I shall therefore describe to you the pastimes by which the personality of Godhead extends his transcendental potency for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic world as they occur one after another. The purport has only 2 lines. So I will read it. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The omnipotent Lord, by his different energies, can perform anything and everything he likes. The creation of the cosmic world is done by his Yogamaya energy. So Maitreya Muni is going to describe the pastimes by which his Lord Krishna is using his potency for creating, maintaining, and dissolving the cosmic world. Going to the next shloka, shloka number 23. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, shloka number 23. भगवान् एक आशेदम् भगवान् एक आशेदम् अग्र आत्मात्मनां विभुः अग्र आत्मात्मनां विभुः आत्मेच्छानो गतावात्मा आत्मेच्छानो गतावात्मा नानामति उपलक्षणः नानामति उपलक्षणः भगवान् एक आशेदम् अग्र आत्मात्मनां विभुः आत्मेच्छानो गतावात्मा नानामति उपलक्षणः. The meaning of the shloka is that the personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by his will only that creation is made possible, and again everything merges in him. This Supreme Self is symptomized by different names. So in this shloka, Maitreya Muni is starting to talk about the pastimes of the Lord, and is starting to talk about how those incarnations, the avatars, commenced. So he's telling that the Lord Krishna existed prior to the creation. So means before anything was there, Lord Krishna was already there. So this is very nicely told even in Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Adir Govinda. So Anadir means end. Adi means beginning. So Lord Krishna has no beginning and no end. So the same thing is being told here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by His will only that creation is made possible, and again everything merges in Him. So because of His creation, will, sankalpa, what is possible? Creation is possible. Cosmic manifestation, srishti, is possible. And pralaya, that is also annihilation, is also possible. This Supreme Self is symptomized by different names. millions of names. So again, there's a very nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. Can I request Uday Prabhu, are in a position to read Hare Krishna? Okay, Prabhu. How about Manjunath?
Prabhuji, I can read Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
The personality of Godhead, the master of all living entities, existed prior to the creation as one without a second. It is by else, else will only that creation is made possible, and again everything merges in him. This supreme self is symptomized by different names. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The great sages here begins to explain the purpose of the four original verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Although they have no access to the Srimad Bhagavatam, the followers of the Mayavada impersonalist school sometimes screw out an imaginary explanation of the original four verses. But we must accept the actual explanation given herein by Maitreya Muni because he, along with Uddhava, personally heard it directly from the Lord. The first line of the original four verses run Aham Yava Yavadgasam Yavadgare Yavadgare
Ahameva samevagre.
Ahameva Samagrave. The word Aham is misinterpreted by the Mayavadi school into meanings which no one but the interpreter can understand. Here, Aham is explained as the supreme personality of Godhead, not the individual living entities. Before the creation, there was only the personality of Godhead. There were no Purusha incarnations and certainly no living entities, nor was there the material energy by which the manifested creation is affected. The Purusha incarnation and all the different energies of the Supreme Lord were merged in Him only. The personality of Godhead is described herein as the master of all other living entities. He is like the sun disk, and the living entities are like the molecules of the sun's rays. This existence of the Lord before the creation is confirmed by the Shrutis. Vasudevo yav idam agradisti na brahma na ka na sankarha. Or Prabhuji, if you can read this because I will pronounce it wrongly. Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu.
if you can just read that Sanskrit.
Vasudevo va idam agra asit na brahma na cha shankaraha eko vai narayana asin na brahma neshanaha.
Because everything that be is an emanation from the personality of Godhead, he always exists alone without a second. He can so exist because he is all perfect and omnipotent. Everything other than him, including his planetary expansions, the Vishnu Tattva, is his part and parcel. Before the creation, there were no uh, karna, karna, karanya was here, or
Karanal na vasai.
karnana vasai, or garbo dikshai, or uh, Kris, Kisrio Dikshai Vishnu.
Shiro Dakshai.
Karya Dikshai Vishnu. Nor was there Brahma or Shankara. The Vishnu planetary expansions and the living entities beginning from Brahma are separated parts and parcels. Although the spiritual existence was there with the Lord, the material existence was dominant in him. By his will only is the material manifestation done and undone. The diversity of the uh, Vaikuntha Loka is one with the Lord, just as the diversity of soldiers is one with the same as the king. As explained in Bhagavad Gita 9.7, the material creation takes place at intervals by the will of the Lord, and in the period between dissolution and creation, the living entities and the material energy remain dormant in him. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Please pardon
Hare
me for
Krishna.
this.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada just elaborating about the different about the whole how the cosmic manifestation has come, and then about the different first it started with Karno Dakshai Vishnu. So Karno Dakshai Vishnu is lying in the causal ocean, and from his navel there's a lotus which sprouts, and then Brahma is created by Lord Krishna and given the responsibility of creating the different cosmic of creating the whole material world. So then Brahma creates the different material worlds, but those material worlds are remaining without any sort of life. Then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into those material worlds, and when Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into those material worlds, those worlds get life. But in those material in the material world, there are different living entities, and again Shirodakshaya Vishnu enters as the Paramatma inside each and every living entity. So this is explained in very detail even in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and probably we are going to see this being explained by Maitreya Muni also. So this is what it is going to start, and then uh, he has explained, Srila Prabhupada has explained, given a brief in this particular purport also. So we have in today's shlokas, we started from 13, and by Krishna's mercy, we have seen until shloka number 23. So, which means we have completed 11 shlokas. So, we saw about the different kinds of requests of Vidura to Maitreya Muni to talk about Lord Krishna, to talk about his pastimes, name and form, and also specifically about the incarnations. And why he is requesting that? Because topics of the Lord are the one which will be ultimately beneficial for the people of the world. And then Maitreya Muni talks by thanking Vidura for or giving him the impetus for for asking spiritual questions, so that Maitreya Muni is given the opportunity of talking about the Lord. He is also being made to contemplate, think his thought process is going into Lord Krishna. And then he starts talking about, and this is the first shloka where he tells that Lord Krishna existed before the creation, and because of him only the cosmic manifestation is possible, and annihilation is also possible, and is known by different names. So since the time is we have only 1 minute, couple of minutes left, I am going to stop here and then uh, I am requesting you to please, if any of you would like to add any comments, please feel free to add. And if anybody wants to, if
Prabhu,
anybody has any doubts, please feel free to ask. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you said the Brahma got birth from the navel of Karnodaksha Vishnu. I think it was Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
Sorry, Prabhu. What is it?
Brahma got the birth from the lotus, came out from the. You said Karnodaksha Vishnu, but as per my whatever we have listened,
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, yeah, you are right. From Karno Daksha Vishnu,
only
when
the
he
universes
exhales,
came.
lot of universes come, and the but those universes they don't have life, and from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, we have this. Brahma, which is coming out from his navel, and then Shirodaksha Vishnu goes and agitates that. Yes, you are right. Sorry, Prabhu. Thanks for correcting. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No further questions.
Hare Krishna. So, thanks to all of you for joining and being with us, and also giving me an opportunity to talk about Bhagavatam, the Lord and his devotees. So, वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमो
नमः
नमः।
हरे कृष्ण
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की
की
जय।
जय
शिल प्रभुपाद की
की
जय।
जय
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल।